Welcome back to My Mythical Meta. My name is Travis, and I'm joined this week by Derek and Randy.
Hi, it's me. I'm that boy. It's me.
I'm the other boy.
I'm the Derek. I'm the Derek.
I'm the other
That's
one.
the Randy.
Derek, I'm the Derek, it's me. And Randy, you're the other one?
I'm the other one.
I am so glad you guys are here with me this evening. We have got a really fun
News from the Warfront.
Another one from our D&D. The role players are having some issues this week, and we have got a great topic to discuss. This news from the Warfront is from our D&D, and the person says there's an argument over including real-world social issues in their campaign. The post is a little lengthier, so I'm just going to try to summarize the more important parts. This person comes to Reddit, and they tell us that the campaign that they DM for is on a break because of an issue that they happened last session. They want to get some community feedback before going back in and re-meeting with their group. He says he DMs for a group of relatively new players, and they are all friends of a friend who was kind of their connection in the game. So this friend is one of the players, and then the friends of the friend are the other players in the game. He says they had a really healthy session 0 where they ask, what type of campaign do you want to play? And one of this DM's questions that they always bring to session 0s is whether they should tie real-world social issues into the plot and themes of their game. The example they give is that in a previous adventure, there was a town that had Jim Crow-style laws that discriminated against tieflings. So this is the type of social issue that they're incorporating into their fantasy D&D games. This person said they like incorporating these issues because it can lead to great moments where the players can overcome those obstacles, where the players can roleplay and kind of imagine and play pretend their way through overcoming or solving or defeating in some way these oppressive social issues. The group responded that they didn't have any problem with that, and in fact, unanimously said that they liked that idea, that they liked the sound of it. So now, it says they've had 5 sessions, and they have just introduced the big bad evil genius to the party.
I thought it was the evil guy.
Is that
it
what the G
matter.
stands for?
I've always thought it was guy.
Big bad evil guy?
I guess. I don't know.
I always preferred when it was just BBG, the big bad guy.
Uh-huh.
But then people started throwing in the E in there, so I don't know. Big bad evil dude.
Big bad, no good, dirty
rotten,
dog,
terrible.
guy.
So he says that this guy is a capitalistic colonizer. They hire an army to steal land from tribes in order to build mines. So, pretty messed up, and the plot of the game is that they're going to need to stop him and his army from taking over. He said the party seemed to really like the plot of the story, and they took defeating the big bad personally. They connected to the story and really hated this guy on a personal level. And this DM thought that that was the sign of a really good villain. The problem comes where one of the players is non-binary in real life and is playing a non-binary character. And the DM made the choice to really drive home the awfulness of this big bad guy by saying something offensive about non-binary people. And it was something along these lines. By the way, you'll always be a girl despite what you try to pretend to be. So this DM made the effort to really make their big bad guy just an absolute scumbag by throwing in this personal jab against the character. But we have an issue here, a problem. They describe that the player playing that character kind of shut down, kind of retreated back, and it was after the session where somebody else contacted the DM saying that that player didn't want to play anymore. This DM is hoping to salvage this relationship, this campaign, and to try to get the group back together. And this DM says that to me, it kind of seems defensive, that they're just playing defensive, saying, I warned you this would happen. You all agreed on themes of real-world issues, but now they're siding with the friend who refuses to play. So, this DM wants some feedback on how they can salvage the game and how they can keep this group together.
Yeesh.
I know, what an intense situation. So, I want to start off first by really applauding this DM for admitting and recognizing that something's wrong. This DM tried their best to prevent this from happening by including it in their session 0 or touching on it, that social issues do come up in their games. And at the time, the players really liked it. And the problem came where, man, it's just kind of unfortunate that your big bad's jab against a character was the same type of jab that this player probably experiences in real life. That, I think that's where it happened. And, there's... Derek, what did you say the big bad should have done instead?
Oh, yeah, I was like, man, if you were trying to drive home the point that he's a bad guy, you should have just had him kick a dog instead of do all this.
Yeah, like we get that you were trying to make this bad guy just an absolute scumbag, just the slime on the bottom of someone's boot. And you succeeded, except that you also probably made yourself seem that way in the eyes of this player. And that's really unfortunate. So let's talk first, Derek and Randy, about whether you guys like the idea of including real-world social issues in your campaigns or in the games that you're playing. How do you guys feel about social justice issues appearing in your games?
I personally like it. It gives me a outlet to deal with some of the things that I am completely powerless to do in my real life.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's a guy that's, maybe he's some kind of slave driver or something like that. Oh yeah, we could just cut his arm off or cut his head off or something like that. It's like, you guy.
Yeah, we'll cut his head off.
Yeah.
Because we don't like people like that.
Shouldn't have been racist. Shouldn't have been a slave driver.
Yeah. Again, I don't think this was the last game, but it's the game that I remember just so well that we played with in Randy's Pathfinder game, where that guy was a slumlord, extorting all the, kids and families around, and basically extortion for protection, that kind of classic thing. And our party was able to deal with that. That feels great.
Extorted him, made him take a little piece of his medicine.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that feels so sweet. And it's something we'd never be able to accomplish in real life. And that's why I think we like it in our games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
that's why I like it, at least.
Cathartic in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Where we get to have a release to the frustration that we don't get to deal with in real life. So capitalistic colonizer, we love this villain in the way that we love to hate him. He is, such a piece of work. We would take it personally to defeat him too. So now, I guess, how do you guys think this DM can move forward? Is there any hope for fixing this?
I think so. I think he needs to have a one-on-one conversation with the person that was upset by what the character said, and I think the DM just needs to kind of say hey, I'm sorry that what the character said made you feel this way. It was not my intention for it to target you, the player, and instead of just the character. I was just trying to make him more hated by everyone. Everyone have a personal vendetta, a personal reason to really hate this person even more. And I'm sorry if it crossed that threshold into something that maybe you've experienced in real life, and so it's moving forward, I can cut that aspect completely out. He can kick dogs. He'll still be a bad man, but I can cut that part out, because I understand if it's a lot of people do D&D for escapism. They don't want to run into those same problems in a fantasy world. It's no, I'm playing a fantasy version of myself, and I don't want to have my same fantasy problems, to fight against. And
yeah, I don't want to have my real life problems. I don't want to fight against that and still lose in this fantasy game.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I would definitely talk with one-on-one first and say, I would love to continue the game with you and the whole group. I will cut this out, and I want you to know that that is a character. That is not how I feel. That is not how, like I personally think. It was just a narrative writing choice. But,
Yeah.
we'll change that. We won't go, touch that subject again moving forward. But because I would like for you to be in the game and for us all to continue, And then I would then, if that person agreed, or I guess, either way, you could talk to the rest of the group and say, like, hey, I know this went too far. Is there anything else that I should know to stay away from moving forward? So, because I don't want to have, this kind of thing happen again by accident.
Because I want to protect you guys.
Yeah, I'm here to have fun, and I want y'all to have fun, So I think that's the best way, is just do a one-on-one talk, then do a group talk, and whoever wants to play will play. And if someone's still like, no, it soured them, then it's like, hey, well, maybe if you ever change your mind, if you want to come back in, just let me know.
Yeah.
If we do a new campaign and it's a different thing, different setting, of course you're always invited, kind of a thing, and just leave that open invitation to the person.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with
Derek. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with everything Randy's saying, except that instead of it being like a one-on-one talk, I think it should be more of like a profusely apologetic, like, hey, I'm really sorry. I was like, not necessarily like talking about it, but like, hey, I know I went over the line here. I was, explain like I was trying to, make this guy kind of irredeemably bad, and that you guys would rally to defeat, and it'd be kind of like a big triumphant moment of this guy eating his own medicine or whatever. But I could see it went over the line. I'm really sorry. It won't happen again. All that stuff, just kind of drive, be really apologetic, because this person's not hearing the bad guy say it. This person's hearing their friend say it to them about something they're deeply insecure about, and like actively being persecuted against.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like I guess maybe I didn't state it enough, but yeah, definitely like apologize, for it. But then, just kind of explain, like why it was brought up, but, just make sure they know, like, it was not directed at you on a personal level. I'm sorry, though, definitely apologize.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, just do a one-on-one apology, have the talk, and then do a group.
Yeah.
And I would say even apologize to the group, saying, like, hey, I've talked to so-and-so, I have apologized, and I apologize to you as well. So.
Yeah, I agree. It's so tough to have a character. I mean, we know, and I know that the three of us, we agree that there's a level of theater that and performance that comes with playing D&D. We get to separate reality from these characters. But there are a lot of people who I feel have a harder time separating performance from a person. The actor who played Joffrey in Game of Thrones and the actor who's currently playing Kristen Cole in House of the Dragon. They're both getting, obscene hate mail because their characters are awful. And what can we expect the actor to do in that situation? Like no actor can play bad guys anymore?
Yeah.
Unless they're charming and good looking and redeemable. Now, I do agree that this DM should be profusely apologetic, and I'll say the same thing that I've said about conflict resolution, and this is something I often did as a teacher whenever I was talking to a parent about something that happened. I'm always asking questions and listening. DM, you should be listening to everything this person says and really taking it to heart whenever they try to explain how they felt or try to educate you about this issue. And I don't know, is there anything you guys want to add to that?
There's an idea in my head that I want to say, but I'm not really sure how to say it. But like, I think as a DM, like a DM and a player, like even that small and that non-serious of an issue, there's still like a power imbalance. Like the DM in this world is God, and this is just a player in a sandbox. And there's kind of like, not like I said, I'm not sure how to say it, but like I feel like if that person, if the bad guy says something like that, it should be in the player's ability to respond how they want to respond. If that's, cathartic for them, like cut the head off or whatever, or maybe throw a knife or whatever, put the, like, be in the situation where that can happen.
Yeah.
Or
instead of retreating and closing up, be like, what do you wish you could say in real life?
Yeah.
Because that's what this character can do. Yeah. I think that's a really cool suggestion.
And I also think that if a bad guy is going to be evil like this, and just evil in any way, but if this is like an especially heinous person, they need to meet an especially heinous end. We can't just have someone like this just, maybe he has a heart attack or something, or trips and falls in the steps or something like that. Like, he needs to face the music, ideally by the party, and ideally by the wronged party. The wronged person, I guess, in that, I shouldn't say party in two different ways.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Try to give this wronged player like a personal vengeance arc or something against this guy. Anything else you guys want to add here?
Y'all remember that scene in Jurassic World where the nanny gets picked up by a pterodactyl and then like dropped and dunked a couple times?
Just
and then she was eaten by the mosasaur?
Yeah.
Yes.
She was just a nanny doing her job. This guy should have something as bad as that, I feel like.
Yeah, DM, make sure that you give your players the tools to deliver truly heinous justice on this
He's
guy.
just eaten by progressively larger creatures.
I feel like
Yeah. Or eaten by just thousands of tiny creatures.
Oh, well, that's Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World. It was Peter Stormare, right?
Yeah,
I never saw Jurassic Park 2 or 3.
All right, well, how much time have we got?
Are they good?
Yeah, they're good.
Okay. I only ever saw the
7
first... I guess that's true. I only saw the first Jurassic Park and then the first Jurassic World.
Yeah, I thought the second one is kind of scarier than the first one.
A little bit.
They went the aliens route?
No, but just... I guess because, like, the park isn't, like, there to give you the sense of security of, like, I'm in a controlled, human-made environment. It's like, no, this is the island where everything's already gone off. Like, everything is out in the open, everything is wild, there is no safety net, there is no electric fence, like, the beasts are out of the cage.
I think it's cool. Because it's like, you're just, like, in the second one, like, kind of being hunted, which is inherently scary.
Yeah. Cool.
Anyways, check out our Jurassic Park podcast. Comes out on Saturdays.
My Mythical Park.
It's a whole new world.
Give your players a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Baby Tyrannosaurus.
Please.
To train and ride into battle.
Please. I'm begging.
Derek, where can people go to join our Patreon?
Oh, you're shaking it up on me.
I am shaking it up.
Patreon.com/MyMythicalMeta.
And Randy, how can people contact us directly?
MyMythicalMeta@gmail.com.
Perfect. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you, Derek and Randy, for being my great friends. Adios.
Later.
Goodbye.
This episode was sponsored by Eldorado Gaming. Use the promo code META for 10% off your order. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. This episode was edited by me, Travis Konishek, and our intro and outro music is by Tyler Heath of the Oh Hellos.